told me that I was weird. And I asked him, I was like, how? Why do you think I'm weird? And he was like, you know how. You know why. And the curiosity was killing me. I was just like, tell me, please, why do you think I'm weird? Like, what specifically? And he said, well, the thing that you're advertising, Demon Slayer, I mean, that's weird. Not everyone's into that. Not everyone talks about, uses the word demons. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I am weird. And I realize that that is something that we often don't embrace. What makes us different is what makes us magnetic. Before launching this offer or just this invitation, I had a lot of resistance regarding the word demon. And I shared in a post before how I met with a consciousness researcher, and this came up, and we were able to work through it. And just being able to bring something that I had buried deep up to surface has created so much momentum for me that it inspired me to do a poetic middle finger to my fears. And so that is what Demon Slayer is. I want to invite you to give your own poetic middle finger to whatever fear is blocking your next level. Because ultimately, what runs your life is your subconscious mind. And all of your past, all of your previous experience, programming, wounds, all that is stored in your body. And so the type of work that I do is different. It's quote unquote weird. And funny enough, right now I'm in Sedona, which is the capital of, the spiritual weirdos. And a year ago, I came for my birthday. And I had not embraced this side of me. I had so much resistance to just embracing the fact that I had a side that was very intuitive, into manifestation and all these different things. And it was almost like I was battling myself because I had a side. So I don't know if you know, but my background is engineering. So I have a degree in logic. So you can rest assured that my screws are screwed in tight. This thing works. And so because my identities were so different, I wasted a lot of time just battling myself, battling shame, battling judgment, battling fear. Like, what will people think when they know I'm outside of the spiritual closet? I just came out of the spiritual closet. Will they think different of me? Will they think I'm crazy? Will they no longer trust my abilities? And so all of these things came up. And in the last year, I've embraced more of my inner truth. And what I realize is that when I work with clients, a lot of times, regardless of the goal, there are always layers that we peel back that helps them tap into their authentic, raw self. Because your authentic, raw self is confident, is powerful. She is a badass. And in Demon Slayer, I'm going to take you in tapping back into her so that you can wave your sword and slash your fears. And to know that you're in good company, I also want to share a lot of the ways that I've been exploring the unseen, because a lot of the work that I do regards the unseen. And what do I mean by that? So we live in physical reality, right? We can touch physical objects with our hands. But when I'm talking about the unseen, I'm talking about energetics. And what are energetics? That are your emotions, things that you can experience, that you can feel. And a lot of what comes in the way of whatever your goal is it's all a feeling, right? You feel resistance. It's almost like you feel like there's a wall there. And no matter how hard you try, it's like climbing a mountain. And how you know you have resistance is that you will feel that wall. And you can hustle your way through it. You can outwill that wall, but all of that requires a lot more energy because you're trying to take this energetic wall down. So you're not using your energy efficiently when it could actually be so much more simpler if you just focused on bringing awareness to what that resistance is trying to show you. And you'll often find that it goes back to your past, the things that you wouldn't even realize, like, oh crap, that's still there. But the beautiful thing is that once you bring awareness and we release it from your body, it's no longer there. That wall's no longer there that you can just walk in and it's like, wow, this is actually so much more easy. This is so simple. And you're gonna go for that next milestone and it's gonna happen again. But you're gonna know what your weapons are, what your strengths are, that you'll be able to lean on them and know of like, okay, I don't need to grind this out. I know there's a simple way. I know there's just some shifts that I need to do to elevate my identity to be able to allow myself to receive this new level that I want to tap into. Let's see, I believe I have a comment. Oh, okay. So, and if you're catching this live, feel free to drop questions. We start Demon Slayer tomorrow. And because of the theme, I also wanted to share, I promised a while back in a post that I would share things that I learned in my VIP day with the consciousness researcher, because I had this terror of demons. So I come from a Catholic background, so it's like they would tell you when you're a little kid, if you're bad, the demon's gonna get you. And so I had a lot of terror about demons. And I was also sensitive as a kid, so I could sense spirits and I also saw spirits. So I was just terrified when I would go to sleep. And then, so it was a shit show. And so what this lady did is that she didn't tell me like, oh, you just need to get over that fear. She held a space for me to understand where that came from. And she also gave me information that a lot of people don't know, which is that demons are like serial killers. There are very few of them, and they like to be on their own. So you have to go looking for them. Like you have to go to a haunted house. You have to play a Ouija board, open the doors for that to come into your life. And if you are someone who is loving, good-hearted, and you want to create beautiful things in this world, you are not going to be an energetic match to that. So you don't have to worry about that. So all that fear that people talk about and that throw at you, like your biggest repellent towards that evil stuff is love, is light. And so what she explained to me, what we often actually run into are what's called negative entities. And what they are, they're essentially souls that decided not to cross over for multiple reasons, because ultimately we have free will. So you don't have to cross over if you don't want to. And a lot of these souls are, really negative. They might be angry, they might be confused, or they might be attached to their physical reality. Like they might have given their whole life, sacrificed their family, health and everything for something, and so then they don't want to leave, they want to stay attached. But ultimately what they are is kind of like Karens, where it's just bad vibes, and so they just want to create more bad vibes. Or I also like to think of them as Wednesday, where the show Wednesday, she's attracted to darkness and chaos, and so that's what they're attracted to, and that's what they feed off of. So They will exaggerate your fears to feed off of it. And that's how they essentially are in our world. And so, how do you repel this? Like, similar to Wednesday, like, if she saw someone decked out in pink and super happy and peppy and just living life with a big smile, she'd be like, ooh, oh, and she'd get away. So, it's really simple. Tapping into love, tapping into light, and also having courage when it comes to your fears, not feeding them, that keeps all that away. Which just shows that how powerful light and love is. Like, it's not cheesy, it truly is the highest power on this earth. But there is something else that the consciousness researchers shared with me, which is how to protect yourself. There's this exercise to help you elevate your energy, which will repel things like that, will repel negative people, attract positive things into your life, opportunities, improve your focus. And this exercise that I will share is worth way more than what you would invest to access this 4-week accelerator. So, if you're curious, this is something that I will share with my ladies who join Demon Slayer. Now, you have 24 hours before we start. So if you've been sitting on the fence, if you've just been watching, it's time to move, because this is going to be live, and everyone who is live is going to receive the transformation. Because here's the thing, there are no guarantees in life. But the thing that I can guarantee, if you are in my container, you will experience transformation. You will experience new levels of awareness. Like, there is no way that you just can't, because of the tools that I use and the weird stuff that I do that I have mastered. So, if you want to get a little weird, if you want to get a little powerful, you want to step into your badass self and slay whatever fear, resistance is in your way, I invite you to this 4-week accelerator. All right? So if you have any questions, I haven't seen anyone drop any questions, but feel free to message me. And you already know. Get in here. It's going to be amazing. The doors will officially close on week 2. So, if you're a straddler and you want to see all the wins that are going to envelop in the first 2 weeks, you can still join 2 weeks in, but the investment will be jumping up to 222 because there is a cost to delay. So if you know you're interested, if you've been called or feeling like, oh, I don't fully understand what this is, but I know I want to do this, then jump in. I promise you, you will not regret it. The only thing you will regret is not being in this container. So have a good rest of your Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.